Next question I had for you is, because it links in the previous contract, and in the previous contract it talked about deliverables, and you based proper or improper payment based on deliverables, what is your definition of software delivered? And let me say, if we issued a purchase order for a boxed software product and the vendor delivered it to our dock, that is delivered and we owe payment. Whether we install it on our systems or whether it's operational, in my opinion, is irrelevant of delivered. So, but in the case of this contract, what's your definition of delivered?
Well, the 2013 amendment...
Make sure you're talking to the microphone for the recording. The
2013 amendment doesn't clearly define the software that's to be delivered. There's a chart which has, I think it's 7, maybe 8 different modules, which Dr. Pace described, and there's not much more than that in terms of explanation of what's going to be delivered, how, or when. So we had to sort of divine what that meant, and we did a little bit of investigation, but again, we didn't do a large amount of investigation. It was not an in-depth investigation into the underlying facts. We mostly looked at the contract itself. So I would agree if you're saying that it's not well defined, it's not. So we had to sort of use what we had there and work with that to determine whether it had been delivered. And as I said earlier, I think that the payments would become more proper as more software had been delivered. If in fact it turns out more was delivered than we understood it to be, then the payments would be more proper.
Based on our limited investigation that we had time to do, it appeared that the concept of the contract was that the software was ready to be used and could be delivered. And using there's 2 ways of looking at what delivered means if it's not defined in the contract. And when you come up with your requirements, you should define terms like delivered. But delivered can either be what the word means, delivered, and the common meaning of it is as I hand it to you, or it could be interpreted by the custom and usage between the 2 parties. And since this is an ongoing contract, we could look back at the 2002 contract and see what delivered meant between the school board and the company that existed then. But we haven't been able to do that as of yet.
And I think what we should have done is clarified that deliverable is functional, project signed off, and granted there may be more modifications down the road, but that is a vague term, and so to say proper or improper, that's just a matter of perspective. But thank you for your honesty and clarity on what you can give us there. Thank you.